Good morning, everyone, and welcome to VBS 2023.
We hope you've had a good morning so far. I'm so excited about this week and learning more about all the buildings God built.
Barbara, I don't think we're learning about buildings that God built, but about other things that God built.
I don't understand. When my dad and I built our chicken coop, it was a building. I see buildings being built all the time. If God wasn't putting up buildings, what was he building, and why is our VBS called God's Construction Zone?
Those are all very good questions. Maybe Miss Jenna can help. Miss Jenna?
Yes, good morning, Molly and Barbara. How are y'all today?
Good, but I'm confused.
Okay, well, what's going on?
Yeah, especially Barbara. We are talking about this VBS building called God's Construction Zone.
Yeah, but Molly said God didn't build only buildings. So why is this week called God's Construction Zone?
Oh, well, let me try to explain. This week we're going to be talking about God. It is Vacation Bible School, after all. So you got that part right. But let's just, instead of focusing on the whole week's lesson and our whole theme for Vacation Bible School, let's just focus on today's lesson and not worry about the rest of it quite just yet.
Okay, what's today's lesson going to be?
Oh, well, we're going to be talking about how a wise man builds his house on the rock. Hey, Molly, maybe you and Barbara can help me out with it.
But how can we teach if we don't even understand what we're talking about?
Well, that's a good point. But, I just happened to write a little play, and I put it back there for you girls, so maybe you can just read off the script, and, there's papers titled The Wise Man and the Foolish Man. Do y'all see them back there by chance?
Yeah, here they are.
Okay, good. Well, do you think you could read your parts for the play that I've written that's back there?
Well, I guess, but it says the wise man and the foolish man, but we are girls.
Oh, that's a very good point. In the Bible, a lot of times, it does say man. But that doesn't mean just men. That also means women and boys and girls. So you might be able to substitute, instead of saying the wise man and the foolish man, you could say the wise woman and the foolish woman.
Or wise boy and foolish boy.
Or wise girl and foolish girl.
Yeah, y'all get it. So who wants to play each part?
Dibs on not being the foolish man.
Well, I don't want to be the foolish man either. We both want to be the wise man.
Oh, well, I've got an idea. To make it fair, why don't y'all go behind the curtain and you can play rock, paper, scissors 3 times. And whoever wins can be the wise person and the other one will have to be the foolish person. How about that?
Okay, yeah.
We like that idea.
Okay, cool. All
Let's
right.
go, Molly.
Go play. Who do y'all think's going to win?
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Aw, you won, Molly. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Oh.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Yay!
Oh, all right. That was 3 times. Why don't y'all come back up and let's see who won?
Barbara won, so I guess she gets to be the wise man, and I have to be the foolish man.
Well, okay, well, one, you guys need to play fair. But, Molly, before you can be the foolish person, let's fix your hair. All right, that's much, much better.
Hey, Miss Jenna,
Yeah.
where did this play come from?
Well, what do you mean, where did it come from? I wrote it for Vacation Bible School.
Yeah, but did you really write it, or did you see it on TV or something?
Oh.
Maybe you had a dream and just put down for us to act out.
Oh, I see what you're saying. You mean, where did I hear about this wise man and foolish man?
Yeah.
Well, this is actually a story. It's in the Bible, and it's called a parable. And it's going to be found in the book of Matthew.
Hey, if we're studying about being a wise man, maybe I can learn the whole Bible and be the wisest woman to ever live. What do you think, Barbara? Maybe you can be the second wisest woman to ever live.
I mean, that sounds like a really good idea, but let's not get ahead of ourselves just quite yet. I mean, there's a lot in the Bible you would have to read and study to be the wisest woman to ever live. So instead of doing all that, let's just focus on today's play. Do you think that'll be okay? The wise man and the foolish man?
Yeah, and I'll be the wisest woman to ever live.
And Molly's going to be the foolish foolish woman.
Oh, since I lost rock, paper, scissors, I guess I'll read the lines for the foolish woman.
Great, let's get started on the play.
The foolish man was smart enough to build a house one time. Let me tell you about it. He just loved the beach. He found the most perfect sand. It was soft and it was squishy, and he thought it would be the perfect place to build his house. He built his house and played in the sand every day. But then one day it rained hard and the water rose and the winds blew and it hit his house. And the house fell down with a big crash.
Oh, that does not sound good. You know, all that hard work to build a house just to watch it wash away. I can only imagine how sad he must have been.
Yeah, I know. But you know what?
What?
The wise man, he built a house on time too. And he liked the sand too, but instead of building on the sand, he found a great big rock to build his house on. After it was built, it rained hard and the water rose, the wind blew and hit that house, but the house did not fall because it was built on the rock.
Well, that makes sense, and I'm really glad that his house withstood all those winds and rains.
Miss Jenna,
Yes, ma'am.
that's the entire lesson. That's all you had written. I only had to be the foolish man for one little line. That doesn't seem so bad.
It's true.
Yeah, and I wanted to be the smartest woman to ever live, but I need a lot to learn, a lot more to learn before I could get to that point. This one little story is all we have for today?
Well, not quite, but I have a question. Why did the foolish man's house fall down and the wise man's house stayed firm?
Well, that's easy. If you ever play in sand, you can make a castle or draw a picture or write your name. But when water comes, all of that fades away.
Yeah, it just goes back to being plain old sand. So when the foolish man built his house on the sand and the water came, the sand got squishy again like it always does, and it washed his whole house away.
Why would he be so foolish? He should have known to build his house on the rock like the wise man did.
Well, that's a good point, girls, and I don't think anyone really wants to be foolish, but sometimes we just don't listen, and if we don't listen, we don't learn.
You know, Miss Jenna, my parents are very wise. I don't always listen like I should have, but they teach me so much.
I agree. Not only did my parents teach me a lot, but my grandparents, aunts, and uncles did too. I didn't listen like I should have either.
Yeah.
You know, Barbara, we are so lucky to have godly parents.
That's right. We are all very lucky to have godly parents. But they can be godly, but if we don't listen, we're still not going to learn. You know, the Bible, it does tell us about listening to our parents to gain wisdom. And do you know what book specifically you can read to gain wisdom from God?
The Bible!
That's right, girls.
But what does the wise man and foolish man building their house on the rock and sand have to do with our Vacation Bible School theme of God's construction zone?
Barbara, this is what we're talking about at the beginning. In this lesson, they were talking about actual buildings.
That's right, girls. We can compare this story to the best rock ever, and that's God. You know, whenever we build our lives on the rock, that's like trusting and obeying Jesus. But when we build on the sand, which we don't want to do, that's disobeying Jesus. So always build your life on God, and His plan for you and your life will not come tumbling down like the foolish man who built his house on the sand.
Yay!
Instead, your life will stay upright and firm.
Yay!
Well, that's about all the time we have for today's lesson. But do y'all think you can come back tomorrow and help us with another VBS story?
Yeah, I signed up to be at VBS all week. I can't wait to see what else we can learn.
Good.
Well, I want to be wise and learn all about God. So I'm going to be here all week too.
That sounds great. All right, we'll see you tomorrow, guys.
Yeah.
Bye.
See you tomorrow. Bye.